Hello and welcome to this video in which we shall discuss the nature of the roots. As I mentioned in the previous videos, the discriminant plays a very important role. Let me just remind you what that is. So we said that the quadratic formula is as follows: minus b plus minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we said that the discriminant is the part under the root, which is b squared minus 4ac. We have three scenarios for that. It's either positive or zero or negative. So if the discriminant is positive, how many solutions do we have? We have two solutions. Why is that? Because we have plus minus root of whatever. So we have a solution with a plus, a solution with a minus. This is only when this value here is a positive value. So what happens if this value is equal to zero? We have one solution only, because plus minus root zero is just nothing. So it's just minus b over 2a. And then what if the value of the discriminant is negative? Well, for now, we can just say no solution, but actually the proper way to say this is no real solution. Why? Because so far you've been told that the square root cannot have a negative inside it. So the value of the term underneath the square root cannot be negative. This only applies to real numbers. Later on, you might study something called complex numbers or imaginary numbers. So imaginary numbers are numbers with negatives under the root. So this is something beyond the scope of the current exercise. All you have to understand is that if the discriminant is negative, there is no real solution. The only solutions are complex or imaginary solutions. Now, just to make sure we're all on the same page in terms of vocabulary, we can call these solutions or roots or zeros. These all mean the same thing. So we have two zeros, 1 0, and no real zeros, or two roots, one root, and no real roots. Furthermore, some people like to describe this case differently, and this case as well. So instead of saying two solutions and one solution, we can say two distinct solutions and two similar solutions. So two similar solutions means one solution. Two distinct solutions means two solutions. So if you're told two similar solutions, this is the same as just one solution. Or two equal solutions, or two equal roots, or two equal zeros, this just means one solution. Let's try to apply this to the various cases. So in the first case here, we have negative x squared plus 20x minus 64. So b squared minus 4ac equals 20 squared minus 4 times negative 1 times negative 64. This is 400, and we have three negatives here, so minus 4 times 64. So 64 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16, 24 plus 1, 25. So 400 minus 256, which is 144. So the discriminant, the value of the discriminant is 144. So this is positive. Remember the summary. So b squared minus 4ac can be positive, 0, or negative. Here we have two solutions or two different solutions, one solution or two repeated solutions. Here, no real solutions. So since here the discriminant is positive, we're going to go with two solutions. So two distinct or unequal solutions. So it's either this one or this one. The only difference is it rational or irrational? The way to figure this out is to just check if this number has a square root or not, like a whole number for a square root or not. Of course, you should know that root 144 is 12. So this is a rational number. Had it been 145, you cannot really get the root of 145 as a whole number. So this would have been irrational. 146, 147, all of these would have been irrational. But 144 is the square of 12. So the answer is real, unequal, and rational. Of course, equal means that you have 0 for the discriminant. Imaginary means that you have negative for the discriminant. Let's try another problem. So the first thing we do is we get the discriminant. So the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac, which is 30 squared minus 4 times 5 times 45. So 900 minus 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 45 is 900. So 900 minus 900 is 0. So one solution. So this is the case of one solution, or we say equal solutions. So real, equal, rational solutions. Let's try another one. So here, b squared minus 4ac equals negative 20 squared minus 4 times 1 times 99. So this is 400 minus 396. If you're not sure, you can multiply them outside. 99 times 4, 6 carry 3, and 39. So 400 minus 396 is 4. So first of all, 4 is a positive number. So we know that we have two solutions. So unequal. And 4 has a square root, so rational as well. Let's try another one. So here b squared minus 4ac equals 20 squared minus 4 times 1 times 84. 20 squared is 400. 4 times 84 is 336. Let's just make sure that we're correct. 84 times 4, 6 carry 1, 32 plus 1, 33. So 400 minus 336 is 64. Again, this is positive, so it's unequal. And 64 has a square root of 8, so it's rational as well. Let's try another one. Here, b squared minus 4ac equals negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 23. So 16 minus 92. This is a negative number. So we have a negative under the root, so we have no real solutions, or we have imaginary solutions. And this brings us to the end of our video. I hope this has been beneficial. Thank you.